This is Sereniel, the newest combatant to CZN. She's an instinct hunter that focuses on dealing damage, and in this video we are going to go through her game mechanics and some simple team setups to get you started. Before we begin, I want to mention that she is a limited character, so if you don't get her now, you won't be able to get her until the banner rerun, so keep that in mind. However, being a limited character, she comes with the perks of being an absolute unit. Allow me to explain. Sereniel plays with the Tenacity Ravage mechanic. That's a little bar under your enemy. You get 1 AP back when you break it. All her cards interact with this in some way, but she also has one self buff that plays with Ravage as well, and that's Afterglow. This buff is very simple. It's divided into two effects. The top part here makes her do more tenacity damage, making it easier to break and ravage an enemy. The bottom here makes her do more damage when the target has been ravaged. So this buff is useful no matter the situation. To get the stacks of Afterglow, you use her main card, Homing Laser. And since we have it up here, let's look at this card. It does minor damage, gives Afterglow to Sereniel, so that's self buff, and has this nifty little line, on Ravage, move to your hand. Are the gears turning in your head yet? If not, allow me to show you. Here we have some simple gameplay. Shooting 2 homing lasers at the target, I build up my Afterglow. With the Afterglow, I use a basic attack to Ravage. Bam! Ravaged. Lasers go back to my hand, I use the lasers again, and easily handle the fight. Now let's look at this again, but this time we go bigger. We have more lasers, more Afterglow, more Ravage, we Ravage, get the lasers back, and since the target is Ravaged, we do even more damage with all these lasers in our hand. So her core gameplay is pretty simple. Shoot laser, Ravage, shoot lasers. We just have to make this happen. Epiphany-wise, she's actually pretty flexible. You just need this one. The Shining Core Epiphany creates 2 lasers, and when you Ravage, you create 2 more lasers. This is how you get multiple lasers in your deck outside of copying it in your Chaos runs. For homing lasers, which you want to duplicate, I would definitely recommend this Epiphany that moves homing lasers into your hand from Ravage and turn start. It will make your turns really consistent, as you will always be shooting lasers every turn and breaking your target and then bringing them back into your hand. Outside of this one, the Epiphany that says destroy +1 hit, which means you hit twice when the target is ravaged, is the best for dealing damage. However, you'll have to find a way to break the target first. The rest of the Epiphanies are up to preference and isn't too important to your save data, but here is what I would use depending on the situation. As for her partners, you could use Yuri, but Peko is better, and by a lot. Yuri at M5 provides 16% attack and 16% damage boost, with a Draw 2 Ego skill. Peko at M0 provides 8% attack, 30% damage boost with an additional 15% on Ravage. This Ego gives a lingering buff that boosts critical chance by 25% on Ravage, so pretty much every turn if you do it correctly. This partner is just superior. For potential, you only care about laser damage, so you need a unique card damage node, as homing lasers are unique cards. You want the extra 10% critical chance from maxing out this node here, and finally, you want this last node up here. This one boosts laser damage by 10% when Sereniel has 30% critical chance, and 5% more when she has 60% crit chance. Therefore, you will try to aim for 60% critical chance to get that maximum 15% extra damage. Which leads us to our memory fragments. To keep them simple, I'd focus on these 2 set bonuses. 50% bonus damage to Ravage targets and 25% critical damage. The Ravage one should be self-explanatory by now. It's a straight up 50% damage boost for her. Why I take the critical damage set over the attack set is because you have about 50 to 60% crit chance from your gear and your potential. You add another 25% due to Peko's Ego skill, and you're at around 75 to 85 crit chance. Add this relic, and you'll reach 85 to 95 with homing lasers, making the critical damage set very viable for Sereniel. Now that we've covered a decently built Sereniel, let's go for some team comps. Since we are going to need to farm good save data, mainly one where we have multiple copies of lasers, we need a good Chaos team. The best Chaos team is always going to be Veronica and Mika. The reason is Veronica and Mika has 2 and 1 unique card respectively. Unique cards can't be copied, so the number of copyable cards will be less in the pool, giving a higher chance to copy a Sereniel card in your Chaos run. They are also fairly strong units with good draw and AP boost, so your run should be fairly easy. If you don't like or have Veronica, you can use Felipe. Felipe makes runs really safe, and Sereniel has two 2+ cost cards, so Vulture Ejection is fairly easy to activate. Once you've farmed your Sereniel save data, you can do some major damage. Looking through the Great Rift, you can clearly see the best comp for Sereniel is Cassius and Selena. To make this work, Cassius will require this epiphany for Pop-Eye Popper, so you can select the 000 quest card. This quest creates a scaling attack card for every 3 0-cost card played, which includes all your lasers. For every 3 laser, you get 1 000 card. Every laser shot and every 000 card buffs the damage of the next 000, so you can get these cards to do some major damage when you ramp up. Aside from this epiphany, it's highly recommended you also get the Create Quest card on Dice Trick for some extra bonuses. Next, we have Selena with multiple copies of Tactical Maneuver with Recharging Tenacity. This is a Selena-only unique interaction where she can reset a target's tenacity from Ravage back to normal. This would normally be mid, but Sereniel gets all her lasers back when you average, so this card becomes insanely good, allowing you to Ravage multiple times in a turn and get tons of lasers. Aside from this epiphany, high-powered scope with coordinated attack is highly recommended to increase your overall damage output. With this build, I got over 1 million score on Great Rift with a poorly geared Cassius and a level 40 Selena. It's just that easy. If you want an off-meta build, Chizuru is a fairly good sub-DPS to Sereniel. If you don't know how she works, basically Chizuru needs you to hit a target that she has cursed. When there's enough hits, Chizuru's Shadow of the Moon card gets buffed, and she can unleash a volley of big slashes. In this team comp, Sereniel will build up the hits using lasers and Cobalt Light. She will still be doing a lot of damage, but Chizuru will also be the spotlight in this team. The third character I recommend would be Nia or Cassius for card draw, or Rei. With Rei, you want a save data that only consists of her upgrade cards and snack time, because you want to quickly thin out her deck. We don't really want to draw the third character's card, to be honest. As for my final thoughts about Sereniel, she's an incredibly fun character to play. Her kit is well designed, giving a sense of power and control to the player. She's a bit overpowered compared to the other 5-star combatants in the game, and that's slightly worrying, as that might be the start of the gacha power creep. Not purely on damage numbers, but the lack of friction with this character, where other characters like Hugo needs a Tressa to activate their abilities, Sereniel can kind of do it all by herself. And that does it for me for my starter guide. Yeah, it's a bit late, but I had Christmas and New Year things to do. Anyway, I'm Matt King Tofu, subscribe for more content, and I hope you have an amazing 2026. Peace!